Hi everybody, this is Miss Madeline from Grow Portland, and I'm coming to you today from the garden at James John Elementary School. For our garden lesson today, I'm going to give you another riddle to have you guess what our garden lesson is all about today.
I am older than your planet and cover most of its surface. I am in every cell of your body. I have zipped up tree trunks and rolled down the throats of dinosaurs. I can shape valleys and silence fire. I carry ships and seeds. The sun makes me invisible. What am I?
So, what do you think? What is the answer to this riddle? It is water! That's right, today's garden lesson is all about water. We will look at the water cycle and we'll talk about how much water there is on Earth and how much of that we can actually use. So stay tuned. Here are some of our questions for today's lesson. Where does water come from? Where is most of the water on Earth? How much of our water can we actually use? And how much water do you use? So where do you think water comes from? Is there a giant water factory somewhere that just pumps out enough water for all of us to use? Where does the water come from when it comes out of your faucet in your house? Looking at our water cycle can help us answer that question. Water has been on Earth for billions and billions of years, and that's all the water we're ever going to have. But luckily, our water doesn't fly off into space. It cycles around in the water cycle. We don't lose any of it, but we don't gain any more either. So if Earth has had the same water cycling through it for billions of years, that means the water you used to brush your teeth this morning could have been the same water that a dinosaur drank millions of years ago. Whoa. A quick refresher on the water cycle. Water gets warmed up by the sun and evaporates up into the air as water vapor. As it gets higher and higher in the sky, it cools down and condenses into a visible form of water vapor we know as clouds. Then, when those clouds get heavy and full, they rain down or snow as precipitation. That water collects in rivers, lakes, streams, or as groundwater, and we call that collection. So the water is constantly moving through this cycle. We do have a lot of water on Earth. They do call us the blue planet after all. But is all of that water available for humans to use at all times? We're going to do a little activity to discover how much of our precious water on Earth is usable by us humans. So our water on Earth is constantly moving through the water cycle. But how much of that water can we use at any given time? Can we use all the water up in the clouds? Probably not. We can mostly only use water when it's in the collection phase of the water cycle. But even then, a lot of that water is trapped in the ice caps and glaciers. It's only running fresh water that we can really use. So to find out where all of our water is on Earth and how much of it we can use, I have with me a measuring glass that represents all of the water on Earth. So imagine for a second, I'm holding in my hands all of the water we have on our entire planet. That includes all of our oceans, our rivers, our ice caps, everything. This is all of our water. So if this is all of the water on Earth, is most of it salt water or fresh water? We have a lot more salt water on Earth. You know, our oceans are huge, and all of that is salt water, which is water that humans can't really make use of. So to think about the water that we can use, we have to focus on fresh water. So how much of all the water on Earth do you think is fresh water? Only about 3% of all of our water on Earth is actually fresh water, flowing in rivers or streams or locked up in the ice caps. So to represent 3% of this water, I'm going to take 2 tablespoons out of all of our water on Earth and put it into this glass. 1, 2. There we go. That is 3%. 3%. of our water is fresh water. That's not very much, is it? So how much of that 3% of fresh water do you think that humans can actually make use of to brush our teeth, water our crops, or everything else that we use water for? So remember, here's all of our water on Earth. Only 1% is available to humans. So to represent that amount, we are going to take 2 teaspoons from our container to show what 1% looks like. This is such a tiny amount of water, we can barely even see it. Through this activity, we've discovered that even though we have a lot of water on our Earth, we can only really use a tiny amount of it. That means that it's really precious and we need to protect it so that we still have enough water to drink and grow our food and bathe and all of the other things we need to use water for. But of course, us humans are not the only ones who use water on Earth. This small amount of clean, fresh, available water is also water we need to share with our plants and animals, the entire ecosystem. Your activity for this lesson is to think about how much water you use on any given day. Before you start that activity, I'd like to guide you in a short meditation to help us all think about how we're grateful for water since it's so important to us. So find a comfortable position, take a few deep breaths, and I will start a sentence and you think about how you would end that sentence. You can either just think about it in your mind or you can write it down if you want to. So get comfy. Water makes me feel. How does water make you feel? I am grateful to water because. Thank you for participating in that little gratefulness meditation. Now it's time to think about your water usage every day. And to do that, you will be filling out a water diary. This will help you think about how you use water on a daily basis. And not all the water we use is completely visible to us. You might find while filling out the water diary that the food you eat actually has a really big impact in how much water you use on a daily basis. Thanks for joining me today, everybody. I hope you made a lot of discoveries about our water on Earth, and I will see you all next time.